AITH for telling my husband's affair, baby's family to either come get the kid or I'm calling CPS. My F53 soon-to-be ex-husband Roger, 47, whom I forgave for his affair, came home with a baby 4 months ago. His girlfriend, 22, could not handle it anymore, and brought the baby to him at work and left. To the best of his knowledge, she is in Spain. I allowed him to stay so long as I didn't have to do anything. Well, about a month ago Roger had a heart attack. It didn't kill him, more is the pity, but he is very weak and incapable of doing anything for himself. Since he isn't up and about, he cannot care for his child. He also cannot drop off and pick up his son at daycare. I have been helping, but I'm done. My kids are full grown. I shouldn't be having grandkids anytime soon. I do not have any desire to care for a baby. I told Roger that I want a divorce, and I contacted the mother's parents. I know the father through friends. I said they had until Friday to come get their grandchild or I was calling Child Protective Services. They just left with the baby, but they scolded me for being so cold towards a baby that had done me no harm. I view that child differently. Roger is recovering and I will be moving out. The house is in his name, but I have never contributed to it. I have the equivalent of 22 years of rent and interest put away, and as per our prenup, my savings are my own. I work and I don't need anything out of this marriage except myself. My kids tried telling me to stay and help their father. I said that they were welcome to come over and help him with cleaning himself and the baby. Both declined what I felt was a fair offer. I do not feel that I am acting badly, however Roger, our children, his child's family, and a few mutual friends think I am. Perhaps writing this out and seeing the responses will give me clarity. New and final update: AITH for telling my husband's affair, baby's family to either come get the kid or I'm calling CPS. Northeast W update. Trigger warning: infidelity, child abandonment, heart attack, death, mood spoiler, just kind of sad all around, but this time with closure. Original post, May 30th, 2024. My F53 soon-to-be ex-husband Roger, 47, whom I forgave for his affair, came home with a baby 4 months ago. His girlfriend, 22, could not handle it anymore, and brought the baby to him at work and left. To the best of his knowledge, he is in Spain. I allowed him to stay so long as I didn't have to do anything. Well, about a month ago Roger had a heart attack. It didn't kill him, more is the pity, but he is very weak and incapable of doing anything for himself. Since he isn't up and about, he cannot care for his child. He also cannot drop off and pick up his son at daycare. I have been helping, but I'm done. My kids are full grown. I shouldn't be having grandkids anytime soon. I do not have any desire to care for a baby. I told Roger that I want a divorce, and I contacted the mother's parents. I know the father through friends. I said they had until Friday to come get their grandchild or I was calling Child Protective Services. They just left with the baby, but they scolded me for being so cold towards a baby that had done me no harm. I view that child differently. Roger is recovering and I will be moving out. The house is in his name, but I have never contributed to it. I have the equivalent of 22 years of rent and interest put away, and as per our prenup, my savings are my own. I work and I don't need anything out of this marriage except myself. My kids tried telling me to stay and help their father. I said that they were welcome to come over and help him with cleaning himself and the baby. Both declined what I felt was a fair offer. I do not feel that I am acting badly, however Roger, our children, his child's family, and a few mutual friends think I am. Perhaps writing this out and seeing the responses will give me clarity. Relevant comments. Commenter: NTA. That child was not your responsibility. Yes, it was innocent, but you're literally not responsible for raising it. You should have divorced Roger long ago. Nope, and God forbid something happens. I literally cannot make any decisions regarding medical care or anything. Commenter: fake NTA. Seriously, the kid is 4 months old. You could not have possibly forgiven anyone for this level of betrayal. If you've been married for decades, it's your house, so get what you're owed. Oop, I think the baby is almost a year old. The house was a premarital asset on our prenup. Commenter: I looked at lots of these comments. You are NTA for returning the baby to blood relatives who can look after it. But don't be taught to yourself by abandoning your home without consulting an attorney and making sure you aren't entitled to some of the equity or some of his retirement savings. Don't walk away without getting all that is yours. You said that you have 22 years worth of savings. That's not a lifetime worth. You might need more to be okay, and you should make sure to get it on your way out. Boop. I have a little over $1 million in investments. I'll be fine. He paid for everything. I kept all my money. This comment was downvoted, but Oops' reply made me laugh. Commenter: women these days are cold AF. Boop. I can forward your their info if you are volunteering to take over. Update post, June 26. 2024. Almost 1 month later, I'm no longer divorcing Roger. There were complications from his heart attack and he has passed away. I am conflicted. He was the love of my love but also a cheating piece of trash. To the best of my knowledge, the mother will not return from Europe. The child is currently with her parents. They asked me what I wanted to do. I recommended adoption. Not that I adopt the child, that they put the child up for adoption. They didn't like that suggestion. Neither did my children. They said I am being cold and cruel. I suggested that since the child was related to them, and not to me, that they step up. Neither has accepted that suggestion either. I was the sole beneficiary of Roger's estate, so I imagine lawyers will be involved in getting the child some sort of support. I will pay whatever is ordered by the court out of the estate. I will not pay 1 cent out of my money. That is all I have to say on this matter. Relevant comments. Ages of Boot's kids. They are adults. To a now deleted comment. I found out about the affair over a year ago. Nothing about this is convenient. Commenter downvoted. So apparently the affair wasn't that much of a problem as you said. You forgave him for that. But after he has a heart attack you decide to divorce him. It just doesn't add up. Oop, I was not responsible for the child. Commenter Prue. That doesn't explain the divorce. I mean, you can divide for whatever reason. You do. To me, however, infidelity seems like a better reason to divorce than having a heart attack. Oop, I was not to care for the child at all. It was all on Roger. Can you explain how a bedridden man was to care for an infant? Commenter. I agree, you have zero responsibility to the child. However, if your kids did adopt, how would you feel about that, as the baby would then be your grandchild? Oop, adopted grandchildren are great. To another, new grandchild. I would do my best to treat them as such. Commenter downvoted. Rogers may have omitted the child due to the child not being around when it was written. The child should inherit a portion. The child should be eligible for Social Security survivor benefits. Baby needs a lawyer. ASAP. Oop, Rogers will also omitted his 2 adult children. Commenter downvoted. You are evil. You wished him dead. Now he is. I hope you at least felt a little remorse for what you said. Oop, I don't. He broke me. To another commenter. We were getting divorced for a reason. Commenter downvoted. 70% of the posts here are fake. Yeah, my husband just died, and I'm dealing with this child situation on top of it. Diff got a post on Reddit. Oop, the situation has been dealt with. I was asked by several people for an update. I have now fulfilled those requests. Oop responds to so many people telling her she needs to help the child. Why does anyone think I have the right to place the child with anyone besides family? I am not in any way related to this child, and the child is currently with their grandparents, blood relatives, withstanding in legal matters. Editor's note: to avoid confusion, I created a timeline based on Oop's listing of events. Oop found out about the affair a year ago, let's say May 2023. At the time she forgave the husband. In January-ish of this year, for months from the Og post, the baby was dropped off. Husband promised to take care of the baby. The husband had a heart attack sometimes in April, a month before the Og post. Sometime between May and June of 2024, the husband passed away. New update post, July 14th, 2024. 12 days later. 5 months from Og post. The girl's parents finally did the right thing and cut her off. I had passed along their contact information to several downseen Redditors who seemed eager to help. Just an email. I did not reveal their identities or even their names. I believe this pressure convinced them to act. They finally got the clue that I would in no way take any responsibility for the child. Between her parents no longer funding her in the current climate as Spain against visitors, the child's mother has returned. I have washed my hands of the entire situation, except for one thing. I have spoken with the lawyers and I will be splitting some of Roger's estate into 3 parts for the children. My children will get theirs immediately as they are adults. The child's money will be going into a trust with his brother and sister as the trustees. This will take some doing, and as such will mean more money goes to the lawyers. Perhaps Shakespeare was correct with regards to that profession. Editor's note: link to that quote and explanation here. Oop clarified in several comments that she was joking. My children are now less enthusiastic about their young sibling, but that is neither here nor there. They were the ones who insisted I involve myself. If there is anything left when I pass, they can split that between themselves, as I will not be leaving anything to that child. Thank you all for your help in my reaching clarity. I was letting my anger cloud my judgment and sense of fairness. Relevant comments. Commenter: I'm glad this is over. The kid deserves better than he's gotten. Not that he was your responsibility in any way. I do like that you use concerned Redditors for assistance. Oh, yes, that's one of the reasons I felt it was apt to post one last time. I appreciate that people were willing to step in to help. Commenter: they were paying her to stay away from this shit, so why? Oop, not for me to say. To another about why she returned and the climate, as Spain being against visitors. I was guessing as to the motivation for her return. All I know for certain is that her parents stopped paying her bills. Commenter, mice, you got to a resolution. I wish it didn't have to be so fucked up from the beginning for you, but I'm happy there's an end now. Best wishes going forward up. Oop, if I'm to be honest, I'm happiest for the child. He is with his mother and grandparents, and Spain is terribly hot in the summer anyway, so she isn't missing much. Commenter, so the Sibs wanted you to do the right thing to a kid that shares no blood with you, but then taking in their blood relative wasn't an option for either of them, and then have the gall to get mad their inheritance gets split 3 ways. Oop, there was no inheritance. I was the sole beneficiary of Roger's estate. I just decided to help my children before I'm too old to watch them get any benefit from the money, and the child deserves a share. It's not his fault that his father was a philanderer and his mother is callow. Commenter, I say inheritance because it's money they wouldn't have had otherwise, but then getting mad that you included their sibling when it comes to money, but not willing to step up to care for their sibling, but expecting you to care for someone who is a constant reminder of your husband's betrayal, is telling. If anyone has a right to be mad, it's you. Oop, I'm past anger. I am at acceptance. Commenter, was there ever a DNA test done to conclusively prove paternity before setting up the trust? It might be wise to do so. Oop, yes, I insisted on one when the child first came to live with Roger. Commenter, it's not over. She'll sue his estate for child support. Oop, it will come out of the child's trust if she succeeds.